Hey, what's going on YouTube? It is GeneralTarheel, your coach of the Charizards, bringing you the P4G Next Generation Season 1, Week 6 battle versus Coach JaCubAsAlways and the Green Bay Pikachus. Coming to Week 6, we did pick up a nice win last week against Coach Leaf, Blade X, and for Duwats. If you haven't seen that already, make sure to check that out. So as for Week 6, we did also make a transaction at the end of Week 5 from Week 6 to the rest of the season. Someone dropped Tangrowth for some odd reason, and picked up Delmise, which is a very awkward transaction, but dropping Tangrowth is crazy in my opinion, and even though Shaman's a pretty decent mon, it's missed 2 seed flares for me so far, and I don't want to risk using it anymore, so I'm just going to drop that shit, because I'm not going to have it. And I love Tangrowth, so that's another reason just to do it. So Tangrowth is just a great defensive mon, and, even though I can't call him Mom Spaghetti, because nickname doesn't fit on Wi-Fi, I still love the mod so much, whether it be defensive, AV, stuff like that. Just the regen makes it so hard to die and everything. I still felt like it was going to be a good like match for the team and whatnot, so. I'm not going to go over Jacob's roster, I'm just going to try to make this a quick video, to be completely honest. I'm not going to take too long with these replays anymore. So as you can see, he brought the Lando T, Tentacruel, Porygon 2, Meanjiao, Blacephalon, and Mesprit, and since Blacephalon doesn't have a face sprite, there's a nice picture of Pennywise for you on the screen. As for like some other Pokemon he did have on his team, just so I knew off the top of my head, he had Mega Mawile, Umbreon, stuff like that, so I kinda had to work around some of these mons. First off, we'll just go with a team kill leader as well as the league kill leader with Kyurem-Black. I got a physical offensive Kyurem-Black with some HP investment with Free Shock, Ice Beam, Earth Power, Dragon Claw. Enough coverage for his entire team. Dragon Claw and Icy kills anything on his team. More so I'm trying to catch it on either the Umbreon or the Porygon 2, since those two are really annoying fat mons and I want to get rid of them as soon as possible, and that's definitely a way for me to break through them right here. Next up is Mega Diancie. We have Calm Mind, Earth Power, Moonblast, Stealth Rock. I just needed Stealth Rocker, and I felt like Moonblast, Earth Power is all I really need for the coverage on his team. Excuse me. And Calm Mind I felt like was just going to be a little bit helpful, just for like, I feel like I could set up on Porygon 2 if it didn't have like Hidden Bar Steel or something like that, so just have to watch out for that. And then Nidoqueen, I have a mixed offensive Nidoqueen with Earth Power, Ice Beam, Sucker Punch, and Super Power. Basically, this kind of just broke apart Porygon 2 and Umbreon, hopefully. Once I got a little chip, whether like Sludge Wave and a Super Power should be able to kill with their Stealth Rocks, I believe, on both of them. So hopefully that would be able to do it with the investment I had and whatnot, and catch one of those boys off guard. Next up, we do have the Tangrowth for coming the first week. We have Hugh, basically just defensive Tangrowth, Rocky Helmet, knockoff Giga Drain, Earthquake Synthesis. Defensive Tangrowth is probably my favorite, but right here worked really well, mainly because of the Lando T, and I can take 2 Reckless High Jump Kicks from Scarf Meanjiao. And as well as I can take on Mega Mawile decently. After +2, I believe I still die to a Play Rough, so we have to watch out for that. Next up is a Selgor. I basically just bought this for a meme. If you don't know, I faced JaCubAsAlways in APA Season 2, and in the playoffs, Round 1, and he used Final Gambit Victini versus Milotic, and he beat me because of it. He wouldn't beat me otherwise, so Final Gambit triggered from that, so I'm bringing the Selgor Weeb. Final Gambit Bug Buzz, Encore Knockoff with the Insect Plate. Once again, just basically for the Final Gambit, maybe to get rid of an item or two if I really can, throw him off guard. And then next up, this set is really interesting. For Entei, 2 things. Panther, I need you to mute me or close out the video just for a little bit, otherwise you're going to get triggered. And then Hugo, shoutouts to Hugo for the set. This is defensive Entei with Rocky Helmet, Sacred Fire, Will-O-Wisp, Roar, and Bulldoze. Hugo used this set versus Mega Mawile that Panther had in another league, and it absolutely just walled it. Even though I don't have Wish support to go along with the Entei, I felt like it was still going to be helpful for the possible Mega Mawile, considering it can still 2-shot my Tangrowth, which is actually ridiculous. So I felt like it was kind of needed for Entei to come like that, but Mega Mawile didn't even come, so Entei is kind of the most expendable member on the team. So as the start of this battle, I really just wanted to lead my Selgor, see what he's going to go for, see if he's actually going to scout for the Final Gambit, and if not, I'll just click a turn 1. Like, I really just don't care. I'd rather just get a real Mon. I could have brought like another Mon that could have been a little bit more helpful this match besides the Selgor, but I just felt like doing it because I know it could just make the teams 5-5, hopefully get rid of an important Mon like one of his bulky walls, while just still being like a revenge meme. So I'm just going to lead a Selgor here. He's going to lead his Lando T. Now, there's no way he stays in unless he is Scarf, and if he is Scarf, he probably doesn't want to reveal it this early. So I know he's going to switch out, and there's a chance he might switch into Blacephalon, so I want to go for my knockoff turn 1. In case he would opt to go into Blacephalon in the final Gambit, because it is a good counter to a Selgor anyways. But he will go into Tentacles and knock off the AV, and I'm just going to go for the final Gambit right here, assuming he's not going to predict it if he didn't go into Blacephalon already. So we take out the Tentacle turn 2, and it is 5-5 right now. Perfectly fine with this. Right here, I'm just going to go into my Mega Diancie, because I feel like it takes on majority of his team pretty well, as he will just go into his Mesprit. Now I'm just going to stay in right here, and I believe I get up my Stealth Rocks, as he will go right into his Porygon 2. So I'm just going to Mega Evolve right here. I do have the volume off, right? I'm not hearing that. Okay. I go for the Stealth Rocks versus the Porygon 2, just to get up my hazards. It's going to be very helpful versus that Blacephalon. And as we stay in versus Porygon 2, this is Calm Mind setup fodder unless he has HP Steel. I could have scouted for it still, but I just felt like going for the Calm Mind already, because if I just wanted to see what kind of annoying Porygon this is. And we do see he does have the Hidden Power Steel. It makes sense because this Porygon does wall my Mega Diancie pretty well. Fortunately, we are not out of range after another Calm Mind, so I do have to switch out right here in order to save Mega Diancie. I'll just go right into Entei because nothing really wants to switch into an Analytic Porygon 2, considering it's not Trace and it's not Download. So he's definitely Analytic. That's what I'm trying to say. So if I switched in, it would just be doing a lot more damage. He shows his Trick Room, which is interesting because he actually makes his Analytic kind of pointless. It would have been better if he was Download for that reason. I'm just gonna go for the Willows in case he decided to switch out. Once again, I'm not trying to make any switches versus Porygon 2 and stuff like that. I'm just trying to whittle it down the best I can, install its Trick Room turns, because it is kind of annoying switching into a Tri-Attack and stuff like that. I'm going to go for a Roar, just to switch him out, you know, get Stealth Rocks and other things, see if I can force something else out, scare it out, stuff like that. Right here, I know he's not staying with Mean Shao. I mean, he should know at this point that I'm not like completely offensive Entei. But either way, he shouldn't stay in, because I'm going to be slower than him and I can get off damage. And I tried to go for the Sacred Fire there, but I missed. Yep. And he will just go for the Recover on his P2, getting it nice and healthy, as I just opt to go for the Sacred Fire just to scout the damage at least, so I know this Porygon 2, just so I can know when I can like bust the Superpower on Nidoqueen or bust the Icy on Kyurem-Black. So he'll just like spam Recover again. I'm like, I really don't care. I'm just going to click Roar this time around, force something else out, and it's perfectly fine. He's gonna go back into Mean Shao, and this is kind of a misplay on my part. Or was it? Wasn't this one yet? No, it wasn't this one yet. It's soon. I'm tired, and I'm recording this day of it going up, so I apologize. I'm just gonna go with Roar again for my Entei, because I'm really like my Entei can just stay in versus this. And now this is when it happens, right? No, yeah, it is. He goes for the knockoff, and he does show he is banded, but I knew I was gonna live any hit, so I stayed in. And once again, Entei does nothing, so I really don't care. And since I know he's reckless and not regenerator, getting as much Shape as Mean Shao as possible is perfectly fine by me. So I just clicked Roar again. If I clicked Sacred Fire, it would have been a little bit better, but I'm fine with how it went. So his Porygon 2 is just going to click Recover again versus me, even though he would outspeed and kill me, even though Burn into Sacred Fire will put him in the same range. But I'm just going to click Roar again, as he will just go into Blacephalon on the switch in, which gets some nice Stealth Rock chip, which is important. And I'm just going to let Entei go down. I don't really have a switch into this thing. I don't know what set it is, but I can really get understanding of it based off on the Beast Boost it gets. And as we see right here, after the kill, the Blacephalon gets the Speed Boost. This means that he has max speed and very little special attack. so I'm not really expecting to be Scarf with speed boost, so I'm not going to be able to scout the damage, of course, based off that Entei, so I'll have to see later on. Now right here when I went into Nidoqueen, it's because I have Sucker Punch on Nidoqueen. It's a good counter, as well as I eat any hit, since I know he doesn't have max special attack. I know he's going to go Mesh Burst, so I'm going to make a double on my Kyurem-Black, and basically this picks me up a kill with my IC. He has no resist, plus Ephelon is yes, the resist, but it will die 1,000,000%. So, basically he just can't stop. He just can't stop this. And I'm realizing I didn't put my background music on repeat, so you guys totally just stopped listening to music for the past few minutes, but that's perfectly fine. So I went for the Sub-Zero Slammer, and we're just going to knock out this Mesprit. I'm assuming it was just a Stealth Rock Sitter. I don't really know why else he brought that. Maybe it was just a Soul Vest in order to counter Nidoqueen, since Nidoqueen did put in a decent amount of work with his team with just Earth Power, Ice Beam, Superpower. But now this is a free switch into Mean Shout, 1,000,000%. I just have to go into my Tangrowth. It's my best counter to this thing. I'm really hoping that it's Scarf in order to counter like Mega Diancie, Kyurem-Black, and stuff like that. But as he goes for a high jump kick right here versus my Tangrowth, it does show that he is a Choice Band Reckless set, I believe. Unless he's Adamant Scarf, I'm not sure. But I'm just going to let him go for another high jump kick. And Jacob's luck didn't go for him this time, and he missed high jump kick. And I made Synthesis in case of that play. I was just going to let him take the Rocky Helmet. I wasn't going to switch anything else to take a high jump kick. It was completely pointless. So luckily we still have Tangrowth around, which is nice because now I do still have an answer to Lando T. But now he's going to go into Blacephalon, takes more Stealth Rocks, which is good, but I still have to try and switch into this thing, which is kind of hard. So I'm just going to go into Mega Diancie, which is pretty much a sack. But there's a chance I live the Flamethrower. But as he goes for the Flamethrower, I didn't actually calc this. I was too lazy. I was just kind of surprised it died. Apparently Specs could only kill me here, and that would have been nice to know later on, but it didn't make too much of a difference in this battle that I didn't calc it yet. So as he gets the speed boost or whatever, just going right back into Nidoqueen like before. And right here, I should have known he wasn't going to go into Lando, but I clicked Ice Beam just in case as he went into Porygon 2. The only difference about that, or the importance of this, is that you'll see Ice Beam does a decent amount of chip to this Porygon 2, as well as after burn damage. Like, that was a lot of good chip that we got on it right there. But as we go for the Superpower this turn, we are going to be just short of the KO. Basically, if I clicked Earth Power there, the roll would have been more in my favor. I actually got a pretty low one right there, unless he's got more defense investment than I predicted. But I think I got it right. As he opts to go for the recover, there's absolutely no point in me staying in here. But there's also little I can do to this Porygon now, because I have to get him either knocked off with my Tangrowth to get rid of his Eviole to make sure Superpower can knock him out and stuff like that, or I have to take a 2-turn free shock with Kyurem-Black after knocking off the Eviole. So my only play here is to knock off the Eviole. If he stays in, this is amazing, but he can't really afford to switch into a knockoff, and I think he understands that. And right here, we go for a Tri-Attack, and he will get the crit Para. Para doesn't come into play, but the crit is kind of annoying because I would have lived 2. I didn't make it to live 2. I just gave it some speed up for another mon, but I would have lived 2 Tri-Attacks because I calced it when I switched in. That's the only reason I made a direct or a hard switch into Tangrowth. So kind of annoying that happened, but then again, I didn't really need it too much. I did need it because the reason behind this now is that Lando just basically can clean up versus my team. Lando plus Blacephalon, even if I do manage to get rid of this Porygon 2, because I'm forced to go Nidoqueen. I can't go Kyurem-Black, even though I can go for Freeze Shock. It is a 2-turn move, but that does give him time to get up a Trick Room and then a Recover. And then he can just Recover stall my Kyurem-Black, which just, I can't have it. I'm also surprised he didn't go for Trick Room versus the Tangrowth, considering I wasn't going to do much versus him. Excuse me, I'm sorry. And he'll just go into the Lando T now, as he can just click Earthquake. I was kind of assuming it was just going to be Scarf Lando at this point, and I wouldn't really be surprised if it, I'd be surprised if it wasn't, based on how he played it. It was smart of him not to reveal it turn 1 versus the Aselgor. So I'm just going to go into Kyurem-Black now. If he's Jolly, Choice Scarf, and that is a non-Choice Specs Blacephalon, I do live the 2 hits. But he will go for the Earthquake right here, and he gets another critical hit. It didn't matter. but he's part of the game. It just shows, you know, he reminded me that it didn't matter. That shows an adamant crit, so adamant into a non-boosting Blacephalon still killed me, and it was a choice picks Blacephalon anyway, so it really didn't matter. So now he'll just go into Blacephalon, which was really low, but at this point it didn't matter, because now he can just go Flamethrowing, take out my Kyurem-Black, or Shadow Ball, whatever. So we will lose 1-0 to Jacob, but it was a good game. There was a few, like, I guess, hacks or whatnot, but it definitely didn't come into play too much. Nothing really mattered. I mean, it benefited me when he missed high jump kick with Mean Shao, so that was probably the most important thing. But it didn't really matter. Basically, I was kind of prepping for Mega Mawile more over some of these Pokemon, and it kind of screwed me over. But Blacephalon and Lando T already had an amazing matchup versus my team. Even though he couldn't have Flyzy on Lando, he pressured Tank Growth so well with Banded Mew Shao and Choice Picks Blacephalon. That was really smart on his part. So there's nothing I could really do there. I was actually surprised I even managed to get it to a 1-0. So but that'll be it from us this week. Make sure to check out APA going up for this week, and P4G is to come for the rest of the weeks. So that'll be it from me today. Make sure to sub, like, share, deuces.